Hip-hop was born in the Bronx, but Queensbridge Housing Projects will become one of the most influential places in any music genre in history. New York originated hip-hop and dominated for years. Then the West Coast took it. They ran with it and dominated for years. The South has something to say, and they're still speaking.
Closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Even the Midwest had its moment. Different cities have ruled different eras, but no single neighborhood has produced more superstars than Queensbridge Housing Projects. Before hip-hop had music videos and major label deals, its first obstacle was radio. And no radio show was more important to the culture than Mr. Magic's Rap Attack on WBLS in New York City.
Mr. Magic Marley Marl.
Hosted by Mr. Magic, aka Sir Juice. He brought along an up-and-coming DJ out of Queensbridge Housing Projects. He goes by the name of DJ Marley Marl.
Yeah, I'm from Queensbridge, New York. Make some noise, y'all. Now, that area, you know, of course, Nas is from that area, Mobb Deep, Cormega, Roxanne Shante, MC Shan, of course me. And before me, there was a lot of musicians that made a lot of music. It's pre-hip hop. My neighborhood was filled with musicians. It's all started from the Name Game, a song from the 60s. I mean, people was coming out of Queensbridge from the 60s. Yes. It's like, mana, bofana, but that song, the lady lived in Queensbridge. Wow. We had Mr. Andre Booth, who made a lot of records, who actually introduced me to Arthur Baker with my first deal. We had Mr. Darryl Payne. He had like a whole string of records. The whole disco era was Darryl Payne. He lived on my block. I looked at him like a god. I'm like, wow, this guy's music's on the radio. He lives on my block.
WBLS 107.5 in the class by itself. Gotta admit, the boy is a musical genius. Speaking, of course, about Marley Marl, my engineer all-star, made this record called Magic's Beats, dedicated to yours truly. I'd like to thank Marley Marl for such a fantastic record. I kind of like this one.
Now, Juice Crew, you gotta think, Sir Juice is Mr. Magic. A lot of people run up to me and say, Mr. Magic Marley Marl, but they calling me Mr. Magic Marley Marl. That's two people. A lot of people don't know Mr. Magic was the first person to play rap, period, on the radio.
On the radio,
and bring it mainstream too.
I used to get his compilations that used to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
He used to be on late night, playing the rap music, when nobody was even caring about it. You know what I mean? So he was the first rap DJ. When he went to BLS, that's when I got with him. I became the engineer all-star Marley Marl with the mixing gloves that I never wore.
Mr. Magic's Rap Attack is the first all-rap radio show ever. And in 1983, his engineer Marley Marl would stumble upon something that was absolutely revolutionary.
Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the house here. It's Marley Marl. We in the studio right now. Yeah, sounds over there, but come here.
While working as a studio engineer at Unique Recording Studios in Manhattan, Marley Marl would accidentally change the sound of hip-hop forever. During a session, Marley accidentally isolated the snare sound from a record by the Honey Drippers entitled Impeach the President.
One day I was at a session and we were just joking around inside it. Actually, it was a Captain Rock session.
Which track?
It was a song called Cosmic. Cosmic. Check out the blast. That one, Cosmic Blast. That's the B-side.
Okay.
And actually, I never really said this in an interview or anything, but I sampled the beatbox in that record to make it do what I wanted it to do. And then I was going to get something else off of the track to sample, and the snare actually recorded first before the sound that I was looking for. Now I started playing my sampler against the track that was coming through the speakers, and my snare sounded better. So I told the engineer, turn that snare down, and I played my snare over. And I looked at him, I said, wow, do you know what just happened? And he's like, yeah, you made a mistake and sampled the snare by mistake. I was like, no, this means I could take any drum sound from any pre-existing record, like James Brown, funky drummer, snare. So when I took that Impeach the President snare, hear that snare?
Most of y'all like it like how Marley Marl has it.
Let me hear that.
This is Hammond's version. But Marley Marl love that kick.
That snare would change the world. That's real. There's so many records with this snare, from Funky Cole Medina to Eric B. as President to Make the Music with Your Mouth Biz, and so on. So what so basically, when I sampled that kick and that snare and made my own beats, that changed hip hop.
Marley's innovation would define the sound of hip hop production for decades. Queensbridge now had a sound, and the world was about to hear it. Meanwhile, there was a young woman sharpening her skills in the streets of Queensbridge, destroying any MC who stood in her way. Her name is Roxanne Shante.
We go back further than high heel shoes. We go back further than sequins jackets. We go so far back, baby, that we go back to the projects. We go back to when you carried around your drum machine and used to leave your son on the bed and would rather let him fall than to let that drum machine fly. That's right, that's how far back I go with Mr. Marley Marl. We go back so far that he was able to influence the entire projects with the music that he played in the morning. People would call my house and say, what is Marley Marl playing out the window today with that black speaker in the living room?
I've known Marlon all my life. You know, Marley's sister Belle lived on my block, which was 12th Street. He lived in a building across from me, and he worked in the Sergio Valente jean factory. So because he worked in the Sergio Valente jean factory, and that was like a very popular brand of jean then, when he said to me for me to come to his house, he wanted me to do a freestyle over a beat real quick. So I was like, okay, look, I got 7 minutes.
It was done. First take, she was down the laundry, her clothes was in the laundry, and she ran upstairs and did her record in one take and ran back downstairs. Her mother didn't know she
You just had to tell them the laundry story. Right. See, my mother was making me do laundry, and my mother was like, listen, if my clothes aren't done, you's in for it. So I was like trying to make a record and do the laundry at the same time.
That freestyle would turn out to be Roxanne's Revenge, a response to the group UTFO's 1984 breakout song, Roxanne, Roxanne.
This is how the whole situation went. UTFO created a fictitious character named Roxanne, and it happened to be over the big beat. So when Marley played the big beat for me, automatically when you heard boom, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, you thought Roxanne, Roxanne. So because I was doing a freestyle, I heard the big beat and I said, okay. He said, so what you gonna rhyme about? I said, I don't know. And then once I heard the boom, boom, I said, well, my name is Roxanne, or don't you know? And that started it, so I brought her to life.
That freestyle, one take joint, like 2-3 weeks later, we on private planes going to do shows.
Woo! Crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It's 3 shows in 3 different states, so we need like a private situation to move around that day. Woo! And it's like 3 weeks later.
Full Force decided to come up with their own real Roxanne because I actually started making more money than UTFO than the original record. So they came out with the real Roxanne, which also helped spawn like 86 other records that were all coming at Roxanne Shante. So whether it was Roxanne's a man, Roxanne's baby, Roxanne's doctor, Roxanne's parents, Roxanne's this, you know, and because I was already a battle rapper, it was easy for me to have so many records coming at me, all negative, and it not affect me.
I didn't even mix the record down to master. I played it, check this out, I played it on our show, and we recorded our show playing the record, and gave them that tape, and they made the records off that.
So a recording of a recording is the wax?
A recording from the radio is the wax, yeah. That's why it goes, oh my goodness, because Magic was talking shit over it on the radio. And the record came out like that.
While Marley and Shante was sending shockwaves through the music industry, another MC was honing his skills and about to rep Queensbridge to the fullest. He goes by the name of MC Shan.
Well, how I got into rap, that's a funny story. Because we used to be in in Queensbridge on the benches, just rhyming, you know, freestyling. And the next thing you know, Roxanne Shante got a record, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I kind of taught her how to do this, so I think I can do it too.
Marley would soon put his new innovation on full display on a song by MC Shan called Marley Scratch.
And so what I did was I went and I wrote Marley Scratch on a paper bag. A brown paper bag back in the days. I said, I gotta get this to Marley. So I went to Marley and I told him the rhyme that I had. And from that point on, Shanté took me on tour. And I was out on tour for like 6 months with no records, singing Marley Scratch across the country. But I was singing Marley Scratch with one of the biggest hip hop artists of the time.
But in 1986, MC Shan released a song that would become the Queensbridge anthem, entitled The Bridge.
We came home from a show and it was like, yo, let's record something for the festival. And so what we did was he put on the, you know, we put up the beat, he put it up, the Honey Drippers, boom. And I just wrote that song off the top of my head. I just jotted down, you know, Jappy Jap, you know, Larry La, Gas. I just jotted down things and I actually did that song off of my head. Cause you can hear the pauses. You love to hear the story again and again. How it all got started way back when.
We made it 2 years before the public heard it.
Okay.
It was already floating around the hood, heavy. My nephew leaked it out. Frito leaked it out to the hood. And then like everybody had the tape. I was like, damn. And then, you know, Lawrence and them was doing Beat Biter. You know, that's when Shan was going at LL. And Lawrence was like, yo, put that on, you know, he's from Philly. Put that joint on the B-side. I'm like, nah, man, that ain't no record. That's some shit we made in the house for Queensbridge Day. What you talking about? Nah, put it on the B-side. I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's let it go. It's already leaked out in the hood. Next thing you know,
MC Shan's song The Bridge sparked one of hip-hop's earliest and most important rivalries. In the Bronx, Boogie Down Productions, led by KRS-One and DJ Scott LaRock, took offense to the song's lyrics.
He done said, oh, hip hop started in the Bridge. I said, let me tell you a little story about where they come from. But I guess that was his niche into the game. So you can't blame him for doing it, you know what I'm saying? But if he listened to it, you will hear me say, let me tell you a little story about where they come from. The Bridge, the Bridge, where I told the story of who I watched doing this. You know what I'm saying? And in reality, there were a lot of other people doing music before the Bronx, or at the same time as the Bronx, Brooklyn, you know, Flowers in them, you know what I mean? They were doing stuff. And so by him saying South Bronx, I've heard that it actually started in the West Bronx, but that's not for me to be a scholar and talk about. It's none of my business. All I know is about what I was talking about in Queensbridge.
We was in the studio doing Bite This. Scott LaRock comes in the room. Yo, Mr. Magic, pleased to meet you. Thank you, you know, blah, blah, blah. Could you please come in our room and listen to our shit and tell us what you think? So, you know, and my Magic, like, I'll be in there later. Mr. Magic was very unruly. He was real mean to motherfuckers. You know, God bless his, you know, God bless his soul. But you know, he was one of them dudes that
he knew he was a gatekeeper.
Yeah. If he didn't like you, he'd tell you, yo man, what the fuck is wrong with your haircut, nigga? He's like that type of nigga. Okay, big up Mr. By the way, he did say that to Kane. That's shit. That's why the hair went up.
Oh shit.
Okay. Now, we go in the room, they put on some song. They all going, they jumping all crazy around the room. Mr. Magic's looking around. He just goes over to the volume knob and turn that shit down. Boom. Now, you know how it is in the studio when it just gets silent. He looked there and said, yo, that shit is bullshit. Yo, that's bullshit. He said, yo, you want real hip hop? MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, Marley Marl, Mr. Magic. Man, get the fuck out of here. He just walked out the room on these niggas.
Really feeling good about my neighborhood and everything. I get back, the day I get back, the kids is talking about the South Bronx record. And I'm like, what? And it was like, yo, this is record. They diss Shan and Marley. I'm like, all right, well, let me hear it.
What was my reaction? Kill that noise.
Rap it any style, all categories. Fresh freestyle, surreal, live stories.
Kill that noise.
And then the Bridges Over came. It just silenced everything. It was like, oh, they're not playing.
By this time, Marley Marl was pumping out hit records directly to the world from his apartment right there in Queensbridge houses.
Wait up. In Queensbridge? My Melody was made in Queensbridge?
In the living room in Queensbridge.
Yo!
And Eric B. as president was made in the living room in Queensbridge.
And oh my
same
fucking,
living room
the
where
same.
Shante made her.
Yo, you gotta
Does
buy
that have
that.
a credit on the record?
You gotta buy that apartment and just make that a studio, my dude.
You know what I mean?
Yo, that's
Holy
crazy.
shit! I would have never thought. I would have thought that was the one and only record, like you and Shante, like as the. So there was other people coming to that house.
Yeah.
And this was the house on 12th Street. You said.
The house on 12th Street.
41st side,
41st side.
41st side. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fucking Mobb Deep
That's what I'm trying
side.
to say. Now, Havoc lived in the next building.
Now, how did you meet Biz Markie?
Biz, he was another person that came out to Queensbridge to meet me.
Okay.
And so he hung out there for about a week.
Queensbridge.
Yeah. He just was hanging out. He was like, you know, Biz was like, hey, man.
You even recorded him in Queensbridge too?
I did.
You
yeah.
did? Which
Yes, I
record?
did.
Which record? Bro?
Nobody Beats the Biz.
Nobody Beat the Biz came out of the bridge too?
Yeah.
God, get the fuck!
Yeah.
Somebody gotta buy this apartment, my dude.
Straight up, make it a museum.
Somebody gotta buy this
You know what I'm
apartment.
saying? So he came. He was like that girl, but he came out to Queensbridge, but he was a guy hanging out. So he hung out on 12th Street. Yo, where's that Marley nigga at? Yo, he over here. Yeah. So he hanging with them for a few days. Then he go on this block. Where that Marley nigga? He hanging with them, just staying on the block overnight, whatever. Next thing you know, like about the 4th day or 5th day, somebody said, yo, it's a nigga in the hallway beatboxing. And I was like, I don't want to hear no beatbox ass nigga right now. Buffy's out. Dougie Fresh. Everybody, you know, like, ain't no room for that right now. But it's like, yo, but he nice. I was like, all right, let me go see him. As soon as that nigga went, nigga, come in my house tomorrow. Tomorrow. And we made a quick demo the next, that very next day, which was Make the Music.
And not long after, by the way of Mr. Magic, aka Sir Juice, they created the Juice Crew All-Stars.
See, the Juice Crew that you know and love, that everyone knows and loves, we're not the originals. Sal Abatello, that's actually something that started up in the disco fever with Sweet G and those guys, you know what I'm saying, before my era. We were the Juice Crew that Magic had put together. Magic was part of that Juice Crew fever thing. So what it was, Magic put us together and we were called the Juice Crew, but we were the Juice Crew that started off making records. The original members of our Juice Crew, me, Shante, Craig, Biz.
Kane.
Yo, which Kane was this? Is this Who Flat Top Rules in '89 Kane?
He didn't have the high top fade yet. Now, Biz is late. Some Afro-looking stick-up nigga knocking on my door talking about, yo, I write for Biz. I'm like, if you write for him, tell me something that didn't come out yet. And he told me one of the rhymes. I was like, oh, open the door. Come in and shit. I write for Biz, and he's late. I had this for him for today.
He's not. So he's coming up. What are you talking about?
Right.
So when was the
with
moment?
an afro?
With an afro,
Yeah.
not even.
Right.
And you said Magic told him.
Magic was like, yo, you ain't getting on stage representing for us with your hair like that. Word up, Magic was on some shit, kid. He's like, yo, you ain't getting on stage representing the Juice Crew with your shit like that. And then I think that's when that high top fade popped back with the high top fade.
TJ Swan, Tragedy.
What y'all gotta understand is Traj is one of the original Juice Crew. Now y'all gotta remember. I never believed it when he told me that. No, but then he did tell me that. But he was original Juice Crew. Now here's what happened to Traj. Traj was so young and his life was going through certain changes and things that he had to do college time at 14. Traj is one of them Juice Crew members and he had to go do some college time. Now this nigga sitting in college talking about, oh shit, I'm down with that. Because when he went to jail, that's when y'all blew up. Right? Yeah. I remember you always telling me that stuff. But Trash, now you believe him, right? Yeah, no, I believe that part. No, you just said a minute that part.
Stay tuned for part 2 as we detail the rise of the next crop of MCs to come out of the most influential neighborhood in music history, Queensbridge houses.
I was not only our lives, I was the whole Queensbridge lives, you know what I mean? Then we knew fucking KRS-One just said the bridge is over and all that shit. We was little kids coming up under that shit. Like, you know, the bridge ain't over, we super ill niggas out here. Like, so we had to let the world know how ill we was. Like, when everybody thought in hip hop that the bridge was over, are you fucking crazy? We was ill.